2020, an absolutely ridiculous year for gaming. We've got a lot of good things to look forward to. Today, I wanted to talk about some of those games, basically some of my most anticipated games for this year. You know, games that I plan on making videos on, maybe making playthroughs on, and of course, talking a little bit about what I think is next for From Software, which is obviously my most anticipated thing, being that I run a channel mainly focused on Dark Souls, and we will get into that a little bit into the video. But already, you know, we're halfway through January at the time of making this video. There hasn't been really too much. In a few days, it is currently the 15th, you got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot coming out. Monster Hunter Iceborne just came out for PC, which is something that I know a lot of people are looking forward to. I played a little bit of Iceborne back on PS4 when it came out. I never really finished it because I felt like people just didn't really want to watch it too much. So I kind of stopped uploading that. I don't know how much interest I have in Kakarot. I love Dragon Ball Z, you know, I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. But this just seems like another, you know, Bandai Namco yearly Dragon Ball Z game that might be kind of good. You know, I'm going to have to look at, even though it doesn't really matter, stuff like reviews. Because for something like this, usually if everything is negative, it's probably not that great. But here in the list, you can see what other games are going to be coming out. You have stuff like the new DLC for Kingdom Hearts. You know, I played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts. I think I made one video on it. It's not really my cup of tea, but I know that a lot of people are interested in it. You even have a Walking Dead coming out later in January. Now it is, you know, not a Telltale game. It seems like kind of just maybe it's going to be I think it's a VR game possibly. I don't know how many people are very much interested, but it's a little bit slow. In February, you have the, I think, remastered version of Yakuza 5 coming out. You got Devil May Cry, another remaster. Well, I guess this time for the Switch. An interesting one, Dreams, which I swear to God, for the last couple months, I thought that it was out already. I think I even talked about it once or twice in a stream where I was like, oh, this game looks really interesting. It's weird that nobody talks about it. And then I looked it up and realized it's not out yet, which I guess would explain why nobody really talks about it. That one is pretty interesting. I feel like it could be, you know, something very cool to play, to have a bunch of people, maybe a bunch of people making a bunch of creative things. It'll definitely be worth checking out once that game comes out. You got this Iron Man game that people have been interested in. It's even in PlayStation VR, which I do have. But I gotta say, I have no interest in that. But it's cool to see something coming out for the freaking PlayStation VR. I feel like I've pretty much used it once when I bought it. I really only bought it because I wanted to play the From Software VR game. And I played that like twice. So who knows, this could be awesome, and it could be, you know, something to push more people into the PSVR. Especially now, since they're probably fairly cheap. The new One Punch Man game looks pretty interesting. It has that kind of same style, like, you know, an arena fighter with a bunch of anime, like basically something you see 2 or 3 games of every single year with different anime properties. Usually made by Bandai Namco because they own everything. I love One Punch Man, so maybe I'll end up checking it out once it actually does come out. Now we're on to March. A hell of a month. This is where things start getting real damn interesting. March 13th. A huge game for me, and probably for a lot of people. Nioh 2. I freaking love the first Nioh, man. The game was really fun, ridiculously difficult. Like, people don't really talk about how hard that game actually was, and I think that the second one might be harder. And I feel like maybe in the first one, people didn't talk about it too much because I remember there being so many overpowered combinations in the first Nioh with your spirit. It doesn't really seem to be the case for Nioh 2, at least not from the betas and the alphas that we got to play. But I did play those, you know, made a playthrough on basically the 1 or 2 bosses that were in the alphas and the betas. My God, some of those bosses, man, are so difficult. Which immediately when you hear that, you're like, you know, maybe I want to shy away from such difficult games. But it's really fun, man. It's very solid combat, very cool designed bosses. Like, some of them have really interesting mechanics. It's definitely one of my most anticipated games of the year. And then one whole week after that, you got Doom Eternal coming out. Doom Eternal, after being delayed to March, it is finally being released on the 20th. Like, I don't even know how people are supposed to balance all these games. Again, we're in March. As we go in later into the year, you're going to see how insane and how stacked some of these months are. And it's pretty much people just throwing everything right at the end, because we're pretty much at the end of this console cycle. You know, the PS5 is going to be coming out, the new Xbox, the new PC. No, wait. No, not that one. Probably another Switch. All these developers that have been working on games for a very long time are putting them out. Gonna be coming out right at the end. Doom Eternal, man, the new trailer just came out a couple days ago, which was freaking amazing. Doom 2016, I would say, is probably one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. It is just pure action and adrenaline and gore and fun with crazy music. And I feel like Doom Eternal is just gonna be that, except like on a higher level, bigger scale, bigger enemies, more weapons, more little tools. Like they have a little grappling hook, which looks freaking awesome. I'm just so damn excited for that game. And on that same day, you pretty much have 4 things coming out. Fairy Tail, which, if I look at it, it is based on the anime, which is an anime that I have seen. I enjoy it. I actually haven't seen the new season, but I enjoyed the original. Doom 64, which is coming out with Doom Eternal. And Animal Crossing, which is, I know, a game that a lot of people have been anticipating for a long time, coming out on the Switch. Probably won't be playing it myself too much. There's a monkey hiding behind some mushrooms. Here's another weird thing. Is that 2 baseball games coming out on the same day? Alrighty then. You do you, baseball. No one's gonna stop you. Persona 5 Royal. I actually never finished Persona 5 myself, which is kind of insane because I actually really loved the game, but I put like 60 hours into it and I hadn't finished it. Maybe it wasn't 60, maybe it was like 40 or 50. But I put a lot of time into that game and I never got to finish it. I should really go back one of these days. You even have another One Piece game coming out, which I believe a big one just came out like a year ago that everybody was looking forward to. It looked really interesting and was kind of a bummer apparently. I love One Piece, but yeah, I don't think I'll be playing that one. Unless it's awesome. And then we have April, pretty much right after that insane month that we mentioned that includes Doom Eternal, Neo 2, the new Animal Crossing, Persona 5, Fairy Tail, for Christ's sakes. To start things off on the 10th, I don't know what Disaster Report 4 is, but I'm going to go ahead and ignore it. Final Fantasy 7. A week after that, Cyberpunk 2077, a little game by a small developer. You probably aren't going to be picking this one up, neither will I be. And then at the end of the month, April 30th, you have Resident Evil 3. That's 3 full video games that most people are probably very interested in, including myself. It's definitely going to be one of those years that, like, even with the next couple months, you're going to have to be picking and choosing to see which game you're going to want, which one you're going to want to get. You know, maybe I can't get Doom. I got to save up for Cyberpunk. I only have money for Cyberpunk. I won't get Neo, maybe I'll get Doom and Cyberpunk, but I won't get Resident Evil. It's going to be so damn hard to manage. But those 3 games alone is absolutely ridiculous. You're going to be playing all of them. I don't know if I'll be doing a Cyberpunk 2077 playthrough because that's such a long game, but I could definitely see myself doing a playthrough of Resident Evil 3 and a few videos, you know, on Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy. But of course, none of them compared to Gears Tactics, which is coming out April 28th. Don't bother buying any other game because you're going to need your money for that. Then we have May, the big game of May. Of course, right at the end of the month, you got Fast and the Furious Crossroads. I mean, I don't have enough money for this. How am I supposed to afford all these games? But yeah, that comes out right at the end of the month. And then there's on the 29th, what is that? Something. Then September, right at the end. We still don't have, by the way, November, December, because those are 2 giant months as well. Except we don't really have anything confirmed for it. So we're going to look over the to be announced list as we also talk about, of course, the 2 big games, or I should say 1 big game. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. And that, of course, is, you know, Elden Ring and maybe Demon's Souls Remastered. But Avengers was pushed all the way back to September. Was going to be coming out earlier this year. So if you enjoy the Avengers, and it looks like an interesting game, like I'll definitely be checking it out. I've been following, you know, some of the development of the game because I enjoy the Avengers. Don't mind that the cast looks like they were hired on Craigslist. These are like the people that show up at children's birthday party. I'm Steve Rogers. And then they go, but why are you wearing the Iron Man suit? It looks cool. I'll definitely be looking out for that game. And then there are so many games that are still to be announced, possibly coming out this year. Even got Death Stranding for PC up in this bitch. I'm just gonna kind of skim through this and see which ones look interesting. So Death Stranding on PC, I mean, you know, most people already got it on PS4. I enjoyed the game personally. I, you know, played some of it. I just feel like I don't have time to finish it, man. It's really a bummer because I enjoyed what I played, but I feel like I don't know if I can sit through 30 hours of walking, you know? Which I know there's more to it. I'm one of those people that think there's a lot to the game with stealth. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. There's stealth. And an interesting story, but I don't know if I could sit through it. Destroy All Humans. Played that game when I was a child. It's cool that they're making another one. Maybe even look into it. Doom Eternal for the Switch. Probably going to be on it. Most likely going to be released later on in the year. Dying Light 2, which is another game. The first one, I've always wanted to go and play it because I like the parkour aspect of the game. It seems like it could be really fun. People have told me that I should try it out, and I might, you know, buy it and make a video on it before the second one comes out. And hey, look at that, Elden Ring, for all the consoles, of course. But yeah, it's a weird time for From Software. We don't really have any news on Elden Ring at the time of making this video. You know, there have been speculations on the release date of Elden Ring. People have even said, hell, it might not even come out this year. They might wait a whole year and release it in 2021. Now, for From Software to skip a whole year, I don't think they would do that. I feel like they've released a game every single year since like Dark Souls 2 or something like that. So I don't think they would skip a year. But it's so weird that we don't have any news on Elden Ring yet. I'm hoping that we do get more news for Elden Ring at E3. You know, some of the rumors that have been coming out saying that it was going to be at a specific game show in February, and I'll be looking into that. I'll put it on the screen, whatever it is. There's also been another rumor that the game was going to be coming out in June. I know there was a bunch of articles. A lot of people told me about it, you know, send me those articles. There was a lot of things saying that it was also a mistranslation from people saying that it most likely wasn't going to be coming out in June, and that people accidentally mistranslated that it was actually announced in June rather than it saying that it was going to be released in June. So I'm not really sure. You know, we'll have to wait for more info. You know, like I said, if they do skip a year and release it in 2021, they could definitely do that, but I don't think they would skip a year with a game. Even if it was a remaster. Now, this is where I'm kind of pretty much pulling on nothing here and just kind of speculating. Demon's Souls Remastered is on everybody's minds recently. The people who made, you know, Shadow of the Colossus Remastered, they've been working on a couple remastered games. They've been throwing out a lot of different things, a lot of cryptic messages, a lot of cryptic tweets, especially around the holidays. I believe they tweeted one out on Christmas. People have deciphered that little snippets of their cryptic messages basically pertain to certain games. Like there's references to demons, there's references to like Twisted Metal. I believe they're making like 2 or 3 different remasters or something like that. And I believe, and I apologize, I don't have any like concrete things. Like I can't really, I'm thinking off the top of my head here, but I believe they said that the first PS5 game, you know, that was going to be coming out with the PS5, that I don't know if it is going to be a PS5 exclusive that you won't be able to play on the PS4, you know, because I'm pretty sure the games are going to be backwards compatible. Or, you know, if they'll release like a PS4 version and a PS5 version being the same game but run differently. But I have heard that apparently the first PS5 game will be a Blue Point remaster game, and they've said themselves, you know, they've been working on a few, that they are some of the biggest games that they've ever worked on. Demon's Souls definitely, I would feel, falls right in that category of a game that needs a remaster. Now, I definitely hope that if they do Demon's Souls remaster, which, you know, even before we had all these Blue Point cryptic messages, I've always been under the impression that it was going to get done. There's money to be made there. Kind of with like with the new Fast and the Furious game, there's money there. And I think they would be foolish to, you know, just leave that in the dust. But hopefully they don't go the Dark Souls Remastered route. Dark Souls Remastered was essentially, let's be honest, it was a texture mod that cost $40. It's cool that it looked nice and it ran smoothly, but it would have been alright if it didn't exist. So here's what I think. I do think that Elden Ring will come out this year. I also think that Demon's Souls Remastered is being worked on. Possibly either one of those games could be coming out this year. Hell, maybe even both of them. Bloodborne came out only a month after Scholar of the First Sin, so it's definitely possible that a remaster and a new IP could be coming out. I don't know if they would do that. I definitely think that we're going to have to wait and see until we get more info for Elden Ring. Then you have Ghost of Tsushima, which is another big game that everybody's looking forward to. Kind of has some of those Neo Sekiro vibes, being that it is a, samurai ninja type of game. And the last trailer that we got looks freaking awesome. And maybe even a possible other Souls-like. You have Godfall. This is sort of like God, how would like an action adventure looter type of game, with something like Destiny. I believe it's a Souls-like, you use swords, you use shields. I'm definitely going to be looking out for this game. It's a PS5 game as well, which of course I will be getting. So this could be another this could be a game that we end up playing, and if it's good, we could play for a long time. It could be a consistent series on the channel, possibly, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Half-Life Alyx, which I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to. I don't really give a shit myself. As mean as it is to say that, I don't care. It's on VR. I don't have VR. I'm not going to play it. I don't care about Half-Life. So hey, you have that to look forward to. Halo Infinite, which, what the shit is this game going to be? Who knows? I'm looking forward to it. I love Halo. Definitely be playing it. The new Hollow Knight, which it says it's only for Switch and PC, huh? That's pretty interesting. At least maybe that's what they have it set for only so far. Hasn't really been confirmed that it will be for PS4 and Xbox One. But yeah, I'll play it. I enjoyed the first Hollow Knight. I never finished it because, people didn't really want to watch any more of it. But I'll definitely be playing the second one. A new Minecraft. Overall, there's still some great games that are yet to even be announced. And that's on top of the games that are already announced to be coming out this year, man. What a freaking year for gaming this is going to be. It's going to be great. I feel like over the next couple months, like I said, starting in February, March, there's going to be so much to play, which makes me very happy because right now we're kind of at a lull. Like I said, we had some big games come out, like Death Stranding came out. I don't know. I feel like just none of those games stuck to me personally, but I feel like over this next year, there's so many games that I personally am looking forward to playing. I just can't wait. I'm very excited. I can't wait to open my wallet and have all these companies take all my money because I'm happy at what I'm getting back. At least hopefully I will be. I don't know. Maybe all the games will be garbage, but I don't think they will be. Anyways, that is going to be it for the video. I would love to hear, how about a top 3? What are your top 3 most anticipated games of 2020? For me, I'd probably have to go with Elden Ring, Doom Eternal, and Cyberpunk. Those are my top 3 in no particular order, but maybe that order exactly. But yeah, that's about it, talking about video games, which I enjoyed doing very much. Have a good one, everybody, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.